All right, good evening, everybody. Hey, there he is, Brother Jack Dawson. First one in the ballpark. How you doing, buddy? So it's brutally cold outside here. It is, man. What are you gonna do? It's winter, and as brutally cold as it is tonight, it's gonna get like really, really nasty. Anyhow, what the hell time is it? Yeah, 10:47 p.m. here in the Commonwealth, and so yeah, just jumping around to different years and stuff. Never fear, McGreevy is coming, guys. It's coming. Hey, cousin Ken. He says, hey, cousin, and Mr. Dawson. Absolutely. So I've been doing a lot of modern baseball. So tonight we're going to go back to one of my favorite teams. And I know one of cousin Ken's favorite teams, even though he kind of does get let down with them in APA tournaments. Still, what a great team. So, so for a guy that doesn't do season replays, I've got like three going on this channel. 1971 Pirates, so that we can test out the legacy mode. In Action PC, and then in Strat Max, we've got the 1991 Pirates, 1929 Philadelphia A's, and then off or occasionally I'll show them on stream, but um, offline I've got 1949 going in. Baseball for Windows as well as 1911. So yeah, it is cold as fuck. Oh my god, it's ridiculous. And this weekend, like so, right now in Pennsylvania, it's like 12, 11 or 12. That's going to be the high during the day on Saturday. So man, I hate winter, but man, February 10th is coming. Pitchers and catchers report. So and let me see. And if I am right about this, let's see I don't know when's the stupid bowl this year. I don't know. Whatever. I think it's the 8th or something like that. So we're getting there, man. And it's 11 right now in Rhode Island. Blah. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. We just aren't going to have any of that. All right, so we lost our first game against the Senators 3-2, and yeah, kind of sucks, man. Kind of sucks, but that's all right. That's all right. Yeah, we're gonna move ahead. We're gonna move ahead. All right. So going up against Washington, and let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So right now, I guess we should be looking at standings in the American League. It's Cleveland 3-0 right now. So, and yeah, we're kind of not even showing them in the top five, obviously. Yep, just getting started. All right. Good, good, good. All right, let's look at what we got here. So for the Philadelphia A's, it's going to be Bishop, Suma, and Cochran. Haas, Hale, and Jimmy Fox batting way down in number 6. So again, I don't know if Strat Max uses as played lineups or not. Having Jimmy Fox down that low, I mean, look, 33 home runs in 1929. And why he's batting 6, I don't know. I'd have to check Baseball Reference for this day, or even just Pocket Pennant Run to see. But anyhow, Miller, Dykes, and getting the start is going to be Rube Wahlberg for the Philadelphia A's of 1929. Enzo says he picked up Action PC Baseball. Yes, great game, brother. Says love it. Just have to figure out why the computer asks to remove my picture. Oh, okay. So that's just done in settings, Enzo, and we can go over that. We can go over that if you want. That's just something you can turn that off. You can there's all kinds of things you turn on and off in that game. You can have the computer be like your act as your coaches, so you can just manage or whatever. So that's something easily turned off. John GFW says, hey to everybody. All right. And John just played his first game of APA. Loved it. So easy to play. Look at this, man. All kinds of cool things happening in this community. So you got cousin Ken Castro, who's a walking, talking encyclopedia of 19th century baseball. Well, all baseball, but yeah, but really was old timey baseball. Well, what's he doing now? He's playing a 2020 project. Oh my God. Then we got a longtime Strat guy loving Appa. That's wild. It's just crazy. You guys are, oh my goodness. Yep, makes sense. Like a coach. Absolutely. Um, so Enzo, I don't know if because I did a broadcast a few weeks ago on the freebies that you can pick up for Action PC, and there are a lot, my friend. So I strongly recommend that you check them out. Just with the freebies for that game, you're gonna have more than you're ever gonna play. There's our good friend. There is Mark. He says Apple was his first love. So Mark has an amazing project in the works. You guys, this is like high tech, real actor stuff, and I don't want to spill too much of the beans on it. So, yeah, definitely, Enzo. Check out APC Community and look for baseball. So just Google that, you'll find it. You go into baseball, you're going to find Steve Tate's 5-year franchise files for the National and American League. You're going to find stuff from, I think, is it Zepp? Just look for the name Zepp. All kinds of crazy stuff for Action PC Baseball. And I've made a few things too. So, if you want to hit me up. And there's Craig Scarborough. How you doing, Craig? Great to see you. All right. So Mark says, oops. Mark says that he is sitting here working on the log line for the project. And it's going to be great, as well as the treatment. That's going to be amazing. Crazy times, cuz now using Strat as one of your engines for 2020. Jeez, man. You guys would be, wow. So John feels that Appa is much easier to play than Strat. So I'm sure he'll try out Master fairly soon. Master's fun. It is fun. All right. Want to hear some broadcasts in the background? Well, you'll have to hear me, unfortunately, but nonetheless, let's have some fun. All right. So, geez, John playing Appa and Ken playing Strat. Yikes. All right. For the Washington Senators here, 1929, Westmeyer and Goslin, Barnes, Blugie and Judge, Hayes, Rule, and Hadley. All right. So here we go. So the big hitter, home run hitter, is Goose Goslin, obviously batting the third position. Again, I do need to check either Pocket Pennant Run or Baseball Reference, or actually even Back to Baseball. I find that really, really strange that Jimmy Fox is batting sixth. I could change this up, but for right now, I'll just leave it alone. But I can't imagine a Connie Mack would have ever batted Jimmy Fox in the sixth slot. But hey, stranger things have happened, right? So as we're about to jump in to the game, I wish this would save your preferences. I really, really do. There we go. That's better. All right. Talking about the doc, we announced it on James Cast's podcast, Tabletop Sports. So it's not a secret, just working out a lot of logistics. Yep, I know. And while that's been announced, I think that still you're doing all the work on it. And guys, it's going to be just an awesome documentary about what we do. And this is by a professional actor and our own Mark right here. So looking forward. Also, I wanted to so Ken says he began his new What If Hockey League. Wow, guys are going crazy. So Jeff Ray, I didn't realize this, man, and I probably should have. Filmmaker. Okay, we got you, man. Filmmaker. So Mark, actually, and I've been calling Mark with a K, and he's Mark with a C. So may I call upon that, brother. So I had read an article that that Jeff Ray put in Jamie's Sports Gaming Journal. I didn't realize Jeff Ray's a hell of a writer. So, but as always, do check out Sports Gaming Journal. I think it's must have if you're a sim gamer. But Jeff just comes in quite unassuming, but really, really good writer. Really like him. All right. So, so Mick helping me out here. Thank you, brother. Welcome me. He says Fox batted sixth the first 44 games of 1929, then batted fifth the rest of the season. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. So Mark saying that he read that too. It's a great article. Yeah. I mean, I didn't realize that I don't know if Jeff Ray is a writer or whatever, but That was a very well written piece. It really, really was. So came up in my feed today in the old social medias and stuff. So check it out, guys. All right, we are playing at Griffith Stadium, and leading off here is Max Bishop. All right, Bump Hadley. Boy, if that isn't a baseball name, I don't know what is. And sorry about that, guys. Here we go. Hadley deals to Max Bishop, and here we go. And Max Bishop is going to draw it up here with a walk. All right, so runner on first, and here's Homer Suma. So Homer Suma here. They're holding Bishop on at first, and Hadley to deal. Every time I see Hadley, I'm thinking about Captain Hadley. Corners in. They're looking for bunt from Homer Suma. Let's see what happens here. And the pitch. And this one is hit hard by Homer Suma, and he was not bunting. We're going to hold runners here. So runners at second and third for the Mac men. So big fly ball out there to right center field. All right. Brings up Hall of Famer Mickey Cochran, Black Mike, as he was known. All right. Bump Hadley ready to go. And this is going to be a base hit center field. And that's going to bring in one for the Mac men. And I'm going to play a little bit conservatively. And we're just going to hold everybody. Don't want to run out of the inning if I can help it. All right. So Max Bishop will score. And Mickey Cochran picking up the RBI. Runners at the corners. All right. And brings up Mule Haas. More walks in that card than you've ever seen. That's a lot, huh? How about it? So Mark says Ron Juckett and he did an interview today with a clinical psychologist with his doctorate from Harvard for an article that will be transcribed in Sports Sim magazine. It was a fascination about our hobby and mental health, and it will be in the next issue. So we'll definitely be looking for that. Because that article that and Jeff talks about, very much so, right? Because we do, and I've mentioned this, but Jeff certainly wrote it more eloquently than I could speak it, right? But again, how many times have we had, we have our significant others or friends or what have you, and they look at what we're doing, whether you're playing digital baseball or you're rolling dice. They're like, "What are you doing?" "I'm playing baseball." "What? What does that mean?" I heard you shouting. What are those cards? What do you mean? But then Jeff goes into about, that, telling people, talking about our results and stuff like that. And such an, our hobby is it's a weird one. We know that. All right, let's get back to it here. So Mick says he has some serious questions about this family's mental health. Well, we're all crazy. So article title is Brain Crashing into the Boards, a look at sports sim gaming and mental health. That sounds like this is going to be right up my alley. Nice and good academic stuff. I kept saying about Bump Hadley. So I keep thinking of Captain Hadley, right? Hadley in Shawshank Redemption. So, all right, runner on first. And so again, one of my things about this game is I need to look at Mickey's card here. So he's a C stealer. I don't think we're going to go. Well, I don't think we're going to be sending him. I just wanted to try. But let me see. Mulehaus, we're just going to have him swing away. All right, here we go. The pitch by Bump Hadley to Mulehaus with 2 on. And base hit into center field. And we're just going to keep playing some conservative baseball. Another run comes in for the Philadelphia Athletics. Homer Suma will cross the plate. Black Mike at second. So runners at first and second. Nobody out here in the top of the first here at Griffith Stadium. 1929 brings up Sammy Hale hitting .250 on the season. All right, Bump Hadley lets it go. And it's an extra base hit by Sammy Hale. This is going to be a double. And I am not sending that runner. Okay, we're going to score another one here, though. So Mickey Cochran will come in to score on the RBI double by Sammy Hale. All right, still nobody out, and finally here he is, one of the scariest hitters of all time, batting with two in scoring position, none other than Jimmy Fox, off to a 750 start. But again, we're just in game two, so nothing to get terribly exciting about. Um, so Mark continues. He says, "We talked about the pool of nostalgia, the preponderance of people in the hobby who might deal with social anxiety, loneliness, etc." John says it sounds incredibly interesting, and indeed it does. He says, "So need to find a tabletop." So then Mark and Ken talking about hockey. So Craig tells us he's totally not lonely. He has his family and tabletop baseball, and that is awesome. I have you guys in baseball and a couple cats, and yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Um, you know, Ken brings up a good question here for Mark. He says, "Interesting. I wonder if the same qualities are valid in RPG, train collectors, etc." I can tell you, cuz that as a person who played a lot of RPGs while I was still doing live theater and I was doing magic and I was doing live music, I was in bands. But it was, and this is something I think Mark can speak to too, that most entertainers, most of us are actually very introverted people. So we put on a mask, we have a character. So when I'm performing magic, this isn't the voice that I speak to, and this isn't the way I talk as a magician, and it's a character. But I remember too when I was in bands, and some of these were pretty big bands. So where a lot of guys might mix with the crowd and stuff, like, in between sets or something, if it wasn't just a straight 3 hour, 2 or 3 hour concert, I would stay backstage. I would mix with people after, but very, very much, I know for me it was, and for my growing up, baseball was one of the things that really kept me from a lot of the, or coping with a lot of the horrors that I had to see growing up. So, and I know that a lot of my friends, a lot of us who played RPGs and, like board games, like, uh, I don't know, whatever, Tomb, Sword and Sorcery, and that, we were very much, there were some people there with anxiety and depression, things like that. So, and I think that it is for many of us. But you know what? Even for folks that aren't dealing with this and maybe extroverted, and all that kind of stuff, I would maintain, and there's been, of course, studies how gaming is very, very, very beneficial to you. So, and part of my mom doing her rehab is doing some gaming, which is really, really cool. Clinical psychologists, how much experience, Craig asks, with the topic. Mark says, yes, most of us are. It's what makes today's world so weird to him. He said one of the reasons he's not doing stand up these days is because he was headlining a club, Neil Domain and I interacted. Yeah. So that was the thing. It was like, look, I'm doing the entertainment. I'm doing this. I'm not comfortable in that because, Mark, this. Again, another thing for entertainers. I don't care if you're a comedian, a magician, actor, whatever you are. And I'm not asking this for any sort of, oh wow, this is really great, but it takes an incredible amount of energy to do what we do, and to maintain that persona, not break the character, not break the fourth wall, as we say in show business and live show business. You're not you don't want to break that fourth wall, because even comedians and magicians, we do have, even though we do have a bit of a rivalry on the club circuit, we have much in common. And so while we deal directly with the audience, so somebody doing stand-up comedy, their job is to get people laughing. You got to get them on your side. Well, my job as a magician is to entertain them, but it's also to fry their brains. I mean, and fry them hard. But I've got to get them on my side. The thing with magic is it's adversarial. So, there you walk that tightrope. You walk that tightrope because you do want the audience there, but you don't want to break the fourth wall. And yeah, it's you've done your job and you're done. Exactly. Exactly. This is audience after the show because it would be good for social media. Mark says he doesn't have social anxiety or anything, but I do separate private life from public. When I've got my laughs and applause, done my job, and that's it. That is it, man. Exactly. Exactly. Athletes, they, I mean, they've got a different row to hoe, as the saying goes, but they don't have to put on a mask. They've got to go out there, they do their thing. And so in that way, but I can even understand, for them, you get out there, you grind out 9 innings, and a lot of people bitch, well, geez, baseball players don't sign autographs. Well, a lot of them do before the game. You know what? They've just played the most difficult team sport, in my estimation, at least on earth. They've just grinded out 9 innings. They're tired, man. They just want to, they gave you 3 hours of entertainment. And so I think in that way, there is a sort of blurring of the lines between what entertainers do and what athletes do, because it's all entertainment, right? All right, here's Jimmy Fox. Bump Hadley deals to Double X, and this is not looking good for Double X. Fly ball out to center field, but this will bring in a run as Mule Haas will come home, and just like that, the Philadelphia Athletics have plated 4 here in the first. So that's first out of the inning now, and brings up Bing Miller. All right, 1 in scoring position for Miller. Hadley getting beat up a little bit here in the first. They're going to stake Rube Wahlberg. Grounder short, and Ozzie Blugie will go to Joe Judge. All right, so 2 away now. And here comes Jimmy Dykes. Very, very capable player, forgotten by history, unfortunately, but not by me. And this one gets away from the catcher, and they're going to score that one, a pass ball. And on that little gaff there, Sammy Hale will move to third on the play. So Philadelphia would like to tack on one more. Jimmy Dykes back in the box. And here's the pitch to Jimmy. And this is either going to be, looks like a base hit for Jimmy Dykes. He's going to bring the runner home, and indeed he does. So base hit, ground ball into center field. Sammy Hale will trot home with run number 5. And we've reached the number 9 hitters here for the Philadelphia Athletics. So 9 men have come to the plate and 5 have crossed it. All right, here is Rube Wahlberg now. And the pitch from Bump Hadley. And looks like we have, how about that? So Garland Braxton will enter the game for Washington and will be batting 9th. So Hadley, a quick day for him, I guess. All right, good. Athletes, Chris says, do have to put on a mask. Now with cameras everywhere, micromanagement from, yeah. So I guess so. I guess in a way, I guess you're right. Because of that. Now I would say, maybe I'll correct myself, Chris, and say traditionally they didn't have to. But anyhow, you guys are just chatting it up and going crazy, and I love it. Talking about the therapist, she said she was perfect because she had no idea our hobby even existed. He said, I prepped her before the interview, and she was a little concerned that she wasn't right for this, but she was perfect. Engaging, really smart, and gave wonderful clinical insight. She's been a talking head on Discovery Channel, PBS, etc. It was great speaking with her. Wow. That's real. This is going to be amazing. Yeah, John, we're finally at the bottom of the first. I know with all my rabbiting, but again, Philadelphia puts 5 on the board. Ken says these A's never scored 5 runs for me in 1 inning in the APA tournaments he played in. All right, Garland Braxton here. We'll lead it off. Lefty against Rube Wahlberg. All right. I'm sorry, Rube Wahlberg's still in there. So Braxton coming in to pitch. I'm sorry, there's still just 2 outs. So Bump Hadley's day is done. Bump Bailey also ends. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. We go to the bottom of the first finally. But the Philadelphia Athletics of 1929 send 9 men to the plate. 5 runs, 5 hits, no errors. All right, Rube Wahlberg ready to face Sam West here. All right, and the wind and the pitch by Wahlberg. And Sam West, ground ball to short. Jimmy Dykes up and over to the Beast for the 6-3 put out. So 1 away now for Buddy Meyer, another excellent player. Pitch to Buddy Meyer, hitting 333 to start the season. And Buddy Meyer is going to fly out center field. Mule Haas has it as gloves. So 2 up, 2 down here for Hall of Famer Goose Goslin, also off to a 333 start. Goslin, a dangerous hitter. And Goslin is going to draw the walk. And he's got decent speed. 2 away now. Brings up Red Barnes. Here is the pitch to Barnes. Wahlberg checking the runner, brings it home, and this is going to be a grounder to third. Sammy Hale makes the long throw across the diamond to Jimmy Fox to retire the side. So Washington gets a walk, and that is all. We go to the top of the second inning. The Athletics leading the Senators 5-0. All right, and who do we got here? We have Max Bishop, and then, well, we're at the top of the order, so the 1, 2, 3, Bishop, Suma, and Black Mike, Mickey Cochran. All right, Max is in the box now, and Garland Braxton on after Hadley getting just absolutely smacked around in that top first inning. This one's going to be a ground ball to second base. Jackie Hayes will go to Joe Judge, score that one 4-3, 1 up, 1 down. All right, here's Homer Suma, 1 for 1 in this game. And here is the pitch to Suma, and this one swung on and base hit for Homer Suma. So 2 for 2 today. So ground ball into center field. And here we go again. All right. Here's Mickey Cochran, 1 for 1 in this game. Let's take a look at, I want to look at Suma here as a base runner because we may start playing a little bit more aggressively here. Is a de-stealer not happening on this watch? All right, here we go. Here's the pitch to Mickey Cochran. A lot of black on that card. Base hit center field. And let's see. We're going to send the lead runner. You know what? Playing conservatively has been working thus far. All right, so 1 away. Runners on first and second on the single. And here comes Mule Haas. And he is 1 for 1. So Philadelphia trying to stack up some more runs here in the second inning. Maybe knock out a second pitcher. Who knows? But this one's base hit into left field. And let's see, are they going to bring the runner around to second? We're going to go ahead on the 70% chance to send the lead runner to see what happens. Why not? Here's the throw home. And offense has choice. We're going to hold the trailing runner. And what do we got here? And he is out of there. They gun him down at home. That's all right. We had to take a chance. 5-run lead. Not a huge chance. What do you got? All right. All right. Bouncing ball out, but they nail Homer Suma at home. So Goose Goslin with the outfield assist to Muddy Rule. Muddy Rule's a guy that we've got to talk about some night on a little readout here. All right, here's Sammy Hale batting with 2 on, 2 down in the top of the second. And here's the pitch from Garland Braxton. And this one could be trouble. Swung on. And this is going to be a double by Sammy Hale. So Sammy Hale is going to get an RBI out of this one, I think. Man on first. Sender hold the runner. Let's hold everybody. Let's hold. So Sammy Hale picking up the 2-base hit. And runner being held at third. All right. Mickey Cochran will come in to score on the play, however, and it's now 6-0 Philadelphia. So, Ken, next time you go to an APA tournament, I'll come with you and I'll play these 29 A's. What do you think, buddy? And I'm way behind on comments. Holy shit, guys. I'm so sorry. All right. Wow. Yeah, talking about Ron Juckett. Yep, Ron's story is amazing, says Mark. Found the community during the thing that kept us locked down, not knowing it even existed. Though I've been playing these games for nearly 50 years, and I heard Ron and then watched his YouTube channel. I was floored. A tremendously courageous and wonderful human being. Indeed. All right. Although he hates dead ball baseball, so but other than that, yeah, Ron Juckett is fine. He is fine and really a great guy. Just not a big fan of dead ball baseball. Kind of depresses me. All right, 2 in scoring position, and here's the beast again. And the pitch to Jimmy Fox. And Jimmy Fox gets hit by Garland Braxton, so that loads him up. Jimmy Fox, at least, nice guy. Nice guy. Didn't go out and bust up heads, which is a good thing. You ever see pictures of Jimmy Fox? As Lefty Gomez famously said about Jimmy Fox, even his hair had muscles. All right, here's Bing Miller now. Bing Miller, nothing for one. 2 down, bases loaded for the Philadelphia A's and 1 in here in the second. And from the stretch, Garland Braxton works home, and this will be a base hit, and that's going to score Mule Haas and Sammy Hale. Holy Toledo, baby. It's 8-0. We may just have to do a mercy roll here. I don't, but we'll wait. No, okay. So, Mark, I'm going to remind you again, my friend. No, there is no. So David Baseball Demos welcoming says even his chin has a chin. Anyhow, Mark, there is no such thing as co-opting or anything like that. This is family in here. So everybody talk, have fun. Have fun. You're not co-opting anything. The game is secondary here. Okay. John says, yes, well deserved for Ron Jock. Had known him since around 2018. Jimmy Fox was the Ted Kluszewski of his era. I would say that Ted Kluszewski was the Jimmy Fox of his era, actually. When Jimmy Fox retired, he was second only to Babe Ruth in lifetime home runs. What a monster. What a monster. But either way, that I know that is a compliment to the great Jimmy Fox. I think he's, what is it, from Sutter, Maryland, or Sudlerville, Maryland. So not far from where I am, actually. All right, here we go. Here's Jimmy Dykes. He is 1 for 1. Philadelphia absolutely crushing Washington, and we're only in the top of the second inning. 2 down, and runners at the corners, and this is going to be RBI double for Jimmy Dykes. And we're going to go ahead and send the lead runner, obviously, the runner being waved home. And here's the throw to the plate. And we're going to hold that trailing runner up. So we know we're going to get a run out of this, I'm hoping. Yes, indeed. All right. Is he going to be safe? Is he going to be out? Only his hairdresser knows for sure. Oh, and they got him. How about that? Catcher's ability to block the plate is being challenged. Okay, this would never have been challenged in 1929. And he is out of there. So they would never. So Strat, maybe there needs to be a thing where you can trade up the rules in 19. Okay, so anyhow, Jimmy Fox will come in to score on the double, but they do get Bing Miller out. And it is 9-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. So in 1929, catchers could block the plate all day. So Strat, please change that. I know that was that it wasn't just flavor texts, right? So, but that's never ever going to be challenged. All right. Anyhow, so Jimmy Dykes with a big hit there. So 4 more runs for Philadelphia. So they have 9 runs on 11 hits. All right. Leading it off here then for Washington is going to be Ozzie Bluege. All right. And here's the pitch from Rube Wahlberg. I'm having trouble saying that. And this one, grounder to second. Max Bishop ranging a bit to his left and on to Jimmy Fox. So 1 away. Brings up Joe Judge now. Joe Judge, very important part of this Washington Senators team. And he ends the no-hitter. So, well, as much of a no-hitter for two innings, but there you go. So, hard ground ball. This will get through into right field. First hit for the Washington Senators. Jackie Hayes in the box now. Rube Wahlberg looking for a quick double play ball here. And will he get it? Fly ball to left. They'll still take that anyhow. Bing Miller has it. So 2 down here for Muddy Rule. And Muddy Rule is going to be a player of focus here as we're going to start that again soon. Not tonight, though. All right, here's the pitch to Muddy. And liner, but right to third. Sammy Hale making the nice play. And that is it. Washington gets a hit. and strands that man. We go to the top of the third inning. The Athletics clobbering the Senators 9-0. Buster Posey rule changed everything. Yep. In 1999, they could block the plate all day. Exactly, Mark. So Strat, that was a little bit pulling me out of the immersion there, but it's okay. It's cool. This newfangled baseball that people like Cousin Ken Castro play. I don't know, man. David, how you doing, man? How are you doing, David? Baseball Demos, who broadcast games when I can't catch them except rarely on the weekends. Yikes. I know he's got his Demolition League going and also in your morning games and stuff like that. So great channel. Check out David Baseball Demos. He's the man. All right, here's Rube Wahlberg up for the second time today. Is nothing for one. Garland Braxton stays on. He's worked 1 and a third in relief. And this one, ground ball to short. But Ozzie Bloogie booting the ball. Washington just cannot get a break. So runner on first as we swing around to the top of the order. Max Bishop, nothing for one in the game. All right, Braxton brings it home to the leadoff hitter, and this could be trouble. Swung on, deep fly ball, and this one by Max Bishop out to right, and Red Barnes racing back and makes the grab at, well, there's no track in 1929, so near the wall. All right, so one away, and here's Homer Suma. Perfect 2 for 2 today for him. And here's the pitch from Garland Braxton, base hit into right field. I think. We'll see. Nope. This one actually. Oh, wait, we got a ballpark double effect. What do we got here? So he flies out to right fielder Red Barnes. All right. So runner remains. David says he posted a tabby short an hour ago. Had to babysit her, so couldn't play tonight. Well, I understand that. My two, well, one here, my Albert, he's always like with me. So every time I'm doing a baseball game, he is right beside me. And then my other cat, Darcy, will at some point jump up on my lap. She does the ninja trick. Wouldn't give him up for the world. All right, here's the great Mickey Cochran. He is 2 for 2, 2 down, runner on first. Will this be the first time the Senators keep these Athletics scoreless? Here is the pitch from Garland Braxton. Set, and this is going to be a ground ball. So Mickey Cochran hitting into a force play. Jackie Hayes to Bloogie. All right, and that does it. And for the first time, the Athletics held scoreless. We go to the bottom of the third. Philadelphia 9, Washington nothing. And Garland Braxton, will he hit for himself? Indeed, he will. Here is the pitch from Rube Wahlberg. And that's going to be a base hit into center field. So Garland Braxton, wanting to stay in this game, came on in relief after Bump Hadley absolutely got slaughtered in the first 5 runs. All right, here we go. Sam West in the box now. He has nothing for one. Wahlberg from the belt. And here is the delivery. And we got a catcher X here. Let's see what's going to happen. And this is going to be straight up the chute. And Mickey Cochran has it for the first out of the inning. All right, Buddy Meyer now in there. Buddy Meyer, nothing for one. Wahlberg studies the signs. And here is the pitch. And Buddy Meyer's going to draw the walk. So 1 away and 2 on for Washington. They got a lot of work to do here in the bottom of the third inning. Here's Goose Goslin. Goslin walked his last time up, I believe. And Goslin swung on this one out to center field. And Mulhaz on his horse. And he's got it for out number 2. All right, Red Barnes, nothing for one. Game moving along here. And the pitch from Wahlberg. And this is going to be a grounder to third. Sammy Hale across the diamond to Jimmy Fox. And another unremarkable inning presented by the Washington Senators. Are they still in the American League? Top of the fourth inning, 9-0 in favor of Philadelphia. So what's the difference between Strat Max and Strat PC? Yeah, well, so yes. So let me tell you. Yeah, parenting ain't easy. Parenting ain't easy. You got that, man. Jeez, oof. That's a whole nother thing. So Strat Max is superior in every way. For one thing, it really is. It is a subscription service, but you get every season from 1871 to the present. It's also got a much better interface. Strat PC really needs to be retired. This is the better game. You have to, not only for Strat PC, right? You have to buy the seasons, which is okay. Action PC Baseball, you buy them. But here's the big difference, Mark. For Strat PC, so if you want to play 2025 season, you got to buy the game again. And you don't actually own the seasons when you buy them. So Action PC Baseball, Dave Cook doesn't care if I have this running on 20 computers. Action PC Baseball, right? I buy the season, I own it. That's it. So I've told the story before. I had Strat PC when I was living in Europe, and I'd bought a new computer, and I just wanted to transfer Strat PC over, and all their seasons are use archaic copy protection, but they're nonetheless their serial number protection. But I called Strat, being a nice guy, made the long distance call from Rotterdam to Alpharetta, Georgia, and they said, well, we need to use TeamViewer and to make sure that the game isn't on your older computer anymore. And I put about $400 into Strat PC, and I said, no, thank you. And I never touched Strat again after that. I think Strat Cards and Dice is a great game, but the PC game, if you want to get the real skinny of it, watch ID Jester's rant. Is classic, must watch on it. It's the worst interface that you can imagine. It's I mean, guys like Sports Time Machine, I think, do a great job with it, but I wouldn't touch it ever again. But StratMax, I'm really loving. It's far superior, and I don't mind paying the subscription fee to be able to play this great game. Or yeah, not Alpharetta, Horseheads New York. I'm sorry. So nonetheless, I get my appas and strats mixed up sometimes. But anyhow, I'm sure it's an issue surrounding very old code, and if the UA is dependent on the UI is the UI. With this, you can't roll your own dice, right? I don't think you can yet. I know in Apago you can. I don't think with this one you can yet, but I'm pretty sure that's coming. But for me right now, that's rather not important, as I really don't have the real estate right now to be rolling dice with all my earthly belongings right now in this one little place that I'm staying. Just no room. I'm lucky I can make room to practice magic. Glenhead, New York. Thank you, David. Again, and I'm not knocking Strat Cards and Dice, and certainly I'm Baseball Max. I'm paying for something, and I have 6 or 7 other games where I have every season in baseball history. But I love this game. I love how it plays. It's excellent. It doesn't have the old time baseball look that I like, that Enzo also likes, but it's excellent, man. I wouldn't touch Strat PC. You couldn't pay me to play Strat PC unless they rewrote it. APA PC baseball kicks its ass. Not to put too fine a point on it, but there you go. So am I going to IndyCon for the Cards Dice Expo? Dave Littles is when she's going out to Indiana, man. I don't know. I mean, it'd be kind of cool. I'd like to meet Dave Littles, good guy. Craig says that he used to love playing seasons with historical versions of the players. I think it was a career disc or something. Yeah. So what they have, yeah, you don't have any skin in the game, Mark. I get you. Tell us how you really feel. Okay. Hey, H-Field, how you doing, man? Waiting for the beta to drop. I didn't check yet tonight if the beta's dropped for Out of the Park Baseball. I'm ready to get rocking with this. Yeah, so you can't roll your own dice with APA PC Baseball, but you can in APA Go. But APA PC Baseball is the master game. And you got Ernie Harwell. You've got a really super, super deep game with Baseball for Windows can do pretty much everything that Action PC Baseball does prior to this year. So, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, man, if I can get over there to Pittsburgh and whatever, yeah, man. I mean, when is it? Yes, it is. So some night when I'm doing a Baseball for Windows, I'll show you the back end and you'll see that it is the master game. So Apple just released the 2025 season for Baseball for Windows. Not interested in it, Aaron, but you know why that is. Not until they get another announcer. And I wish John Herson would do that. I really do. I just saw a thing that he did with Sabre the other night, though, and there really wasn't a lot of talk about baseball for Windows, unfortunately. So, meh, it is what it is. All right. Anyhow, here's Mule Haas. And Mule Haas leading things off for Philadelphia. And this one, a little soft liner right to Jackie Hayes at second base. So 1 up, 1 down now. Garland Braxton hanging in there. Braxton has worked 2 2/3 in relief. And again, anybody that plays Strat PC, I'm not picking on you. I just think it's a bad game. Here's Sammy Hale, perfect 2 for 2. And here's the pitch to Sammy Hale, and swung on by Sammy. Sammy going to make some noise? Yes, he is. So this one is going to be drilled. Long fly ball to right center field, and Sammy Hale picks up the 2-base hit with 1 down. And here is Jimmy Fox. Jimmy Fox drilled by a pitch last time up. Garland Braxton to deal to Double X. And Jimmy just not getting it done here. Grounder to short. Ozzie Bloogie up and over to Joe Judge. So 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning. Could Philadelphia be held scoreless for 2 consecutive innings? We shall see. Bing Miller 1 for 2 at the dish. Left fielder for these Philadelphia A's. And swung on. This one is a deep, 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 and near the wall. Goose Goslin will make the catch. So Bing Miller gave it a long ride, but unfortunately the flight attendant was not on board at time. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Philadelphia A's lead the Washington Senators 9-0. So Mark says, need some clarity here because I would love to play more APA. So it's a game you started with. Found a 1980 version of it for a really good price, but not too long ago, and bought it. Kind of disappointing. Okay. Hey, welcome in, Parallel League. Just wanted to let you know, you're a member of McGreevy. I really do hope to get an exhibition game in this week. Okay. So just hang in there, my friend, please. Monongahela Monarchs that I assigned to you are respectable 11 wins, 10 losses. Bullpen is weak. Doug Bear is the closer. Okay. So definitely feel like the hobby has moved on from that earlier version of APA. Went to Status Pro, which is a great game. Pursue the Pennant, and now Diamond Mine. Action PC and PC Replay, but would love to go back to APA. So if you want to roll your own dice, APA PC Baseball is not the way to go. You'd be better off getting APA Go. But if you want a very immersive game that sounds like you're listening to an actual radio broadcast and something that's really, really deep, a lot of deep management, draft leagues, all those kinds of things. And if you happen to know a certain YouTuber that can hook you up with a lot of things, pick up APA Go, or pick up APA Baseball for Windows. It's a great game, still very much ahead of its time. H-Phil says he has Strat PC and never plays it. I wish they'd overhaul it. Yes. Out of the park in Action PC, just do too many things better on the PC. Yep. Pocket Pennant Run plays better as well. The upcoming payoff pitch PC game. So, you know what? I'm going to offer a little prize here. I'm going to offer a little prize, but you guys are going to have to somehow show me the receipt. You have to show me the receipt because we're all going to be rushing to pick off payoff pitch. All right. The first, and you can do it in the Discord so that way you don't have to give away your financial information. But the first person to get payoff pitch PC in April, and if you happen to own Action PC, I will buy you the season of your choice. All right. That will be the prize. And I have no ties at all to payoff pitch. I just want to see who's going to be first so you can score a free season. How's that sound? All right. So better than Diamond Mine. Are we still talking about APA, Baseball for Windows? Well, I'll tell you what, Mark, in my estimation, the 2 best play-by-plays in digital baseball gaming are Baseball for Windows and Diamond Mine Baseball. Ken Castro says he's not going to be rushing. No offense. No offense taken, man. No offense taken. I think a lot of folks, I'm jazzed for it, Ken. I really am. Really, really, really am. Just loving. I've only watched Baseball Maelstrom's work on it. I know that Ron Juckett's done some stuff, and I think Dave Gardner. I haven't had a chance to get around to theirs yet, but I've been watching what Baseball Maelstrom's doing, and it's like I want this game. This could be the next game I go all in on, like I did with Action PC Baseball. Love it. And there's the professor. He says, "What a silly game! 11 innings, Highlanders, 3-2, and 17." So the Red Sox stranded 17. Wow. By the way, speaking of Pocket Pennant Run, there was supposed to be an update on Sunday, but I haven't heard anything from Paul nor Craig, so I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, Craig, payoff pitch you're talking about, it looks great, and the cards look fantastic. You need to roll the dice to play APA, then get APA Go. And you can try APA Go for free, Mark. So you might want to try that instead. If you want to roll dice, then Baseball for Windows is not going to be your game. All right, here's Ozzie Belugi. He is nothing for one. Rube Wahlberg ready to deal, and he's got a lot of gas left in the tank, obviously. And Ozzie Belugi will draw the walk. So Rube Wahlberg now has walked 2 in this game and brings up Joe Judge. He is 1 for 1, so only 2 hits off of Wahlberg, and Joe Judge is one of them. All right, here is the delivery, and this is going to be a grounder to first, this one in a force play, and Jimmy Fox will go to Jimmy Dykes, and Belugi is out. All right, so runner on, 1 down, Jackie Hayes, nothing for 1. All right, the second baseman in the box from the set, and here is the pitch. And this one grounded to third, double play. So this is going to be Sammy Hale to Max Bishop and on to Jimmy Fox. So that will do it. We go to the top of the 5th inning. The score still the Athletics 9 and the Senators nothing. Hfield said the card display here on Max is not bad looking. So would love to see Strat update their PC card image to be this nice. Yeah, I watch Sports Time Machine play Strat PC a lot, and so I like watching the game being played. I've often, it's like, okay, guys, come on, go back and update, because these are nice. I think really nice, very, very clear, easy to read, real nice. All right, who do we got here? Jimmy Dykes. He is 2 for 2, leading off here in the top of the 5th inning for the A's. We got, we're at the bottom of the order. So it is Dykes, Wahlberg, and Bishop. All right, Garland Braxton staying on in relief and has himself a base hit in this game. And Jimmy Dykes will get the leadoff walk. So here we go. And here comes Rube Wahlberg. He is nothing for 2. And Rube Wahlberg is going to send this fly ball, little lazy fly ball out there to left field. And Goose Goslin will bring it down into the glove for out number 1. Runner holds. Here's Max Bishop, nothing for 2 today. From the set, Braxton brings it. And this is going to be base hit into right field. And let's see what we got. We're gonna go back to holding the runners here, because I've had 2 guys gunned down in this game. So I'm not going to be messing with these guys. All right, Jimmy Dykes will move to second on the play. Max Bishop on at first. Here's Homer Suma. Garland Braxton now reaching fatigue, and we'll see what the manager wants to do here. There's the pitch to Homer Suma, who's 2 for 3 and not looking good for him. Liner to short. Ozzie Belugi has it. All right, here's Black Mike now. So Cochran 2 for 3. And here is the pitch. And this one is going to be a long fly ball, and be a long fly ball to right field. Red Barnes has it for out number 3. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The score remains 9-0. So let's go back and catch up here a little bit. So Clinton says to Mark, with the current exception of Status Pro, and I do partially in some form, he rolls dice for every game, including 8 and Fall Classic. Mark says it's weird, but I remember being a little kid, maybe 12 or 13, and I owned Appa. And at summer camp, some kid had Strat, so we played it, and I loved the split cards, but hated the fact that the results were written on the card. I thought having coded numbers was so much better. This is the shit we remember. No kidding. All right, here we go. Status Pro. I'm such a huge fan of Status Pro baseball. I'm excited for the next edition of as Muddy Rule will ground out to Max Bishop. Score that one 4-3. But I love Status Pro baseball, and so looking forward to what Mark has in store, and hopefully this is going to be a full implementation of Status Pro where you see the play kind of unfolding as opposed to sort of after the fact, kind of the way it was. Whether Derek Beckner's Advanced Status Pro, if that's going to be used, that would be better. I've mentioned before. I know Derek. It's been probably about 7 years though since we've been in any contact. But Derek, there's a guy that knows his baseball. Derek Beckner. I'd love to. I got to shoot him an email sometime. All right. So it brings up Garland Braxton now, and he's going to stay in the game. Garland Braxton is going to ground out, though. Grounder to second, but this is going to be an error. Call that one E4. So Max Bishop commits the error. So each team now tied at one with error, and Garland Braxton will be hugging first as Sam West comes up. He is nothing for two. Rube Wahlberg looking to turn two here. And will he get it? This one a ground ball double play, 5-4-3. And that does it again for the Senators. We go to the top of the sixth. Rube Wahlberg working on a two-hitter right now. Braxton is way tired, but we're not managing Washington. So there you go. We got Mule Haas, Sammy Hale, and Jimmy Fox. All right. And here is the pitch. This one could be trouble. And it is. This one is absolutely crushed. Long fly ball to right center field. This is going to get down, rattle around out there in right center. And Mule Haas has himself a leadoff triple. So potential run number 10, just 90 feet away. Here's Sammy Hale, 3 for 3. Why do I love Status Pro so much? So I'm a big fan of fast action cards. And I love the fact that you could get more play results with Status Pro Baseball. I also love the big board game, Craig, that it came with. But I just found that the fast action cards just so worked for me because I could see the result, go down, see where it is, and the fact that they were double sided and they were also columned. So if you know anything about permutations, it would be impossible. There were never. So you shuffle up your Status Pro cards, they will never ever be in that order again for the rest of the lifespan of the entire universe. And I don't know. I just really I like the system. There was a bit of looking up that you did have to do, but it wasn't excessive. It flowed for me really nicely. Clinton says Derek has advanced on available in digital, but at an extra cost. I think you download any season and it can show up as Status Pro. You know where I stand, and I've got it. I get you. But you know what? I wouldn't mind paying the extra cost. Again, knowing Derek personally, both as a friend and as a colleague at Penn State, Derek's baseball knowledge is phenomenal, and Derek is just one of the nicest people you ever meet. Just really, really good guy. Mark says another weird thing. He says, when I see a 28-sided die, I think of killing an ogre in Dungeons and Dragons. I don't think of rolling for home run versus fly out. That's how long ago you played Strat until recently. Nice. Craig says that his cards were so used they became very soft around the edges. Parallel League says he liked the way the pitchers dominated the 2 9s. Status Pro is great because of the control factor and fast cards, such innovation at the time. Yeah, great game. Just such a great game. So Clinton says he just uses his fielding stats and overwrite Derek's, but he has the option of any score sheet except for Skeeter Sloth's. Beatles, I understand. Yeah, get it. Used to love the old Avalon Hill games where you got a legit board to play the game on. It was a given back in the day, and that was a nice board. It really, really, and you got the little meeples with them or the pawns, whatever you guys want to call them. It's just a quality game. Status Pro Baseball. All right, Sammy Hale is 3 for 3, nobody out. The A's looking for run number 10, and it's just 90 feet away. Braxton deals to Hale. Braxton is out of gas. And this one, liner to third. Buddy Meyer has it. So, all right, here we go. One away. Jimmy Fox, nothing for one. Garland Braxton working out of the stretch to the beast. And Jimmy Fox, big swing and a miss. Jimmy Fox was swinging for the next state. He was swinging for Virginia on that one. All right, so 2 down. Garland Braxton looking to get out of a potential sticky situation. Philadelphia possibly wasting the leadoff triple. All right, here's Bing Miller. He is 1 for 3. Garland Braxton, again, out of the stretch and the pitch. They're not going to waste it. Base hit into center field. Mule Haas will come in to score, and Philadelphia leads this one 10-0. Here's Jimmy Dykes. We had a blowout the other day, I believe, too. Pirates tried to come back and lost it 8-7, though. Jimmy Dykes, 2 for 2. And Jimmy Dykes looks at one on the corner. Strike 3. So that does it, but Philadelphia picks up another run. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Griffith Stadium in Washington, D.C. It's the Philadelphia Athletics 10 and the Washington Senators nothing in this 1929 project. So Clinton says, had Status Pro for basketball, thinking about having a chat with your baseball dealer about basketball again. Need a second sport. Mark says, living in Baltimore, says he and his friend Chris would go to the Avalon Hill office on Reed Street at the time and get the new season of Status Pro before anyone. Damn, that's nice. So then guys are talking about some just going to Avalon Hill and some Status Pro basketball. So cool. So he said, so Mark says even on the road during gigs, he would play that in his hotel room. Super cool. I did something similar, but I would be tagging along. This is when I was doing music. I'd be tagging along Status Pro. My bandmates would be like, they're all, it's the parties and groupies and all that stuff. And I had a girlfriend. I tried the groupie thing for about 6 months. I'm like, man, forget this. Because when you say the wrong name, buddy, that's it. You're dead. So I'd be rolling up dice. I'd be drinking a beer or two. And what the hell are you doing, man? I'm playing baseball. I'm playing baseball, man. Oh my God. All right, here we go. So Buddy Meyer will lead things off here for Washington in the bottom 6. Would be Meyer, Goslin, and Red Barnes. Buddy Meyer, nothing for one. Rube Wahlberg. What can we say here? Could be trouble here, though. Swung on by Buddy Meyer, fly ball and not deep enough. So going back there in right field on his horse is Homer Suma, and he's going to track it down for out number 1. Here's Goose Goslin, nothing for one. So the big hitters for both teams just not getting things done here today. Neither Goslin nor Fox. But I may have spoken too soon. Long fly ball by Goose Goslin, and this one just not enough as Homer Suma is going to say, no, I got this. So 2 up, 2 down. Here's Red Barnes, nothing for 2 today. And Rube Wahlberg has the sign from Mickey Cochran. Here is the wind and the pitch. And here we go. This is another hard hit ball. They're starting to see Wahlberg pretty good. And this is going to be a 2-base hit for Red Barnes and a ball driven down to deep center field. So 3rd hit now for the Washington Senators. And here's their big hitter, Ozzie Belugi. The pitch from Wahlberg with 2 down here in the 6th. And here we go. And fly ball center field. Bing Miller has it. And we go to the top of the 7th. So Washington, a couple of big, loud outs. And that is it. All right, here's Rube Wahlberg. And I do not know what Washington is doing right here, but there is nothing I can do. Braxton is just getting murdered here. Because what I'll do sometimes in action PC baseball or out of the park baseball is if a pitcher is getting killed like this, I'll actually go in and change the opposing pitcher. Why Braxton is still in this game is anybody's guess. Not that Washington really had a deep staff, but wow. This is not a great year for the Washington Senators. But do remember that they were pretty good in the 1920s, though. They won the 1924 World Series and then were beaten by the Pirates in the 1925 World Series. So it wasn't like these were, but now they're starting to descend into those. Well, in fact, Washington after 1925, that would be it. No more postseason for them. So anyhow, I know, man. Mark, I'm sorry. What can I say, brother? Since this is the most boring game I've ever witnessed, thank God we're all just kibitzing in the bleachers. I know, man. I almost want to quick play it out and just shoot the shit with you guys here. So, and we may do that. Anyhow, top of the seventh. Let's see what Philadelphia. We're going to give Washington another inning, and then we probably just will do a quick play on this. All right. Anyhow, here's the pitch to Rube Wahlberg. Fly ball out to right field. Red Barnes draws a beat on it, brings it down. All right, we're back at the top of the order for Philadelphia. Max Bishop, 1 for 3 overall today. Here's the pitch to Bishop, and Max Bishop's going to draw the walk. Tell you what we're going to do. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. We're going to go ahead and take it to the end of the game because these guys are going to catch up. And let's do it. And yeah, so 10-0 your final score. Philadelphia 10 runs and 16 hits, 1 error. Washington no runs, 4 hits, 1 error. And we can also look at the most boring box score ever. I just want to see, did Jimmy Fox end up doing anything? Nope. He did have a run scored, went 0 for 2. So for as much, this was a high scoring game, but no open the window Aunt Minnie in this one. How about it? Muddy Rule with a nice defensive play that saved a run, but that is it. Jeez, yeah, that was pretty bad. That's not even. Whew. Okay, and now it's going to auto play out the other games. All right. Incoming 11 to 10. 11 to 10. All right. So the next time that we play, this is going to be a good game. This is going to be a really, really good game as the Athletics will face off against the New York Yankees. So, but that will be for the next time that we play this particular project. 29 A's. The New York Yankees just couldn't deal with them. This wasn't even a close pennant race in 1929. The A's just dominated. You got to remember, this is the Yankee squad that swept the Pirates in 27 and the Cardinals in 1928, but then ran up against this juggernaut, the 29 A's. I'm hoping that this is going to be Lefty Grove in this next one, but I have no idea. I'd like to see a Lefty Grove Herb Pennock matchup, but there you go. I can do anything. Yeah, I can do anything you want on this. I mean, if you want the 2024 White Sox against the 2024 Dodgers, we would have probably the same game, Mark. We probably would have the same game. But so you were asking about this game. So, right, because you get everything, so you can play a game with, we're not going to do it, but any 2 games with any 2 teams in history. So, just to show you. So 2025 not out yet, but there's 2024 and there's 1871. So you get everything. Other things that you can do in this game that you cannot do in Strat PC is you can just replay any All-Star game that you want. You can create tournaments. You can do a draft league. However, the draft league is not robust like you would find in Baseball for Windows Action PC or Out of the Park. You can only draft in a single season. So, meh. Of course, replays. This is fun. The game of the day is really really cool too. So if you click game of the day, it's just gonna pick. It's gonna pick a game. So every day it'll pick a different game from baseball history, and you just play it. And then there's like leaderboards, and sometimes it will do this. Yeah, there we go. So if we were to play this, it would be the Texas Rangers of 1990 versus the Kansas City Royals of 2024. That is that would be the game of the day, and every day a different game. Um, but it's great. I really, 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 really like Strat Max. So Stratomatic, you hit it out of the park with this one. You really did. Just an excellent game. Few little nitpicks on it, but I like it. I like this game a lot. Georgia Tech versus okay. So if you're talking about football or basketball, Craig, you got me, buddy. You're owning me here because I have no idea. You're going to send your game to my direct page, including scorecards. I appreciate that. I love that you do that, or Professor. All right. Um, so H. said he read an old football book from the library 30 years ago about that, and it forever lives in my mind. So definitely have missed that. Um, and Mark giving us his personal opinion. His personal opinion: you have to be a lover of the Strat mechanics and math to buy this. Looks too slick, I think. And Enzo has talked about he's talked about that. And if you look at Apago, Apago definitely has that more old time look, and that's what this looks like. Yeah. By the way, let me show you. I'm not going to play a game, but let me bring up Baseball for Windows because I was talking about, and I brought up the wrong module. I'm sorry. So let me close that and bring up the advanced draft so you can see just what I mean. I'm going to bring it over here. So, app of Baseball for Windows. I know you're not going to buy it, but it's modular. So, I'm just going to bring up one of the things that I've created. So let's bring it up here, and I will show you. So let's just pick the Yanks just because they're there, and let's look at Yogi Berra, and let's view his card. No, not that. I want to actually do this. I'm sorry. There you go. So this is the master game, and you're looking at it. And if you this is one of the things that you'll see if you get Apago. So yes, you cannot roll your own dice in this game, but you can do so very much in this game. And this is one of my favorites of all times. So yeah, I mean, I think that if you had somebody that had been a Twitch baseball player, Super Mega Baseball, or just playing MLB The Show again as a Twitch game, and they wanted to get into cards and dice, but they didn't want to actually roll the dice. Between this and Apago, yeah, this is going to definitely be far more attractive to them. You got the little flashy things going on there, and all the stuff that you can create there. Look, I mean, just all the little mouse overs. So you got some sexy CSS going on there, and things like that. So for sure, it does also a great job. Oops. Anyhow, it just does. It has a nice clean interface for whatever. So you can look at stats and ratings here, which is really really cool for any season that you want. So right now we're looking at 2024. If we hit the calendar here, we can go back and so we can pick a range of years. So let's say that we were just maybe you were thinking about doing a project mid 60s and mid 70s, and let's pick 1971 since we are doing 1971. And I can get out here. I can pick the Pittsburgh Pirates, and I can look at everybody's card. The Pittsburgh Pirates. This is something else that Apago doesn't let you do, is this kind of cool thing. So let's bring up the great one. All right. So I'm looking at Clemente's 1971 card, but I can look at every card that's ever been done for Roberto, from when he's began in 1955. to his final year in baseball, 1972, and that will be the same. I can see all his ratings again all through the years, so it's all in here, which is nice. I also love the fact with this, although I wish they did some better CSS so you could actually have the ballparks. So if I click on Three River Stadium and I click on ballpark, there we go. There's Three River Stadium. Pretty nice. Michael Peterson. He says, "Hey, gang, finally solved his Action PC stuff. Good. And you also got Digital Diamond Baseball. Good, good, good stuff. Digital Diamond Baseball. It's a game I will start playing again. Provided, I mean, and Digital Diamond Baseball is a great baseball game on its own. Great, great engine. But I really want to play Status Pro and Sports Illustrated Baseball into it. To their credit, as a way of supporting the next generation. Yeah, that's smart. Very, very smart. And you're right, Mark. It is very similar to video games, and it does have an out of the park vibe. Um, so like here, this is a very much an out of the park thing here, right? So you get those graphs in out of the park baseball, and you'll get them here, and so really nice kind of visual thing going on here. If we go back to the roster for the Bucks, and let's go back to Clemente again, right? So somebody new, right? And you're looking all the stuff, and this is, the super advanced stuff is in here and all that kind of stuff. People get ratings, and there you go. I mean, Clemente, just ridiculous. And to be able to see that. So if we go back and look at Clemente in 69, you're going to see a little bit of a change, right? And I can look at that card from 1969, and just so you can see the difference. I don't know how much of a difference there's going to be. Let's go to 1962, and there you go. So it does a lot. Good. So Marx's disconnect I have is that young people love to roll dice. Board gaming has exploded since yes, it has. So I think selling young people and rolling dice, holding cards might be a smarter way to go. Yeah. Three Rivers turf. Yes, it was. I don't know. They probably had that as grass, but I just like the fact that the image is there, and I wish that you could actually just because I can select all these cards, and I can, all these ratings and all that stuff. And of course, now this game does not do enough with stats. This is where APA-Go is better than Strat Max. APA-Go is much better. You get much more, many more stats. You just get the real basics here. And then you can, of course, it's a great way if you're learning this game to kind of visualize what's going on the card percentages and stuff like that. So it's nice. I like it. I really, really do like this game. This was a tournament. I was just trying to learn how to make a tournament. Pretty easy to do. So yeah, there we go. It is more. It is modern looking, and we even saw that in the little, there was an appeal because the catcher's blocking the plate. Never happened in 1929 or 1999, as you say. Christopher says, da, 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 da. Yep. So that's it, folks. That's it. Some good kibitzing, as Mark says, because that was a dreadfully boring game, man. That was pretty bad. Pretty bad. The 1991 Pirate game we had the other night, though, that was a good. That was a banger. It was a banger. There's more they need to do. What I would like to see them do is since it does have every season in baseball history, let's make it so that you can draft. I would love to do the Michael McGreevy League. I've been looking for another thing. Once I get it going out of the park baseball, I want to put it into another game. And right now, I think the other game is going to be Pocket Pennant Run Baseball. But I thought it would have been fun to maybe put it into Strat. But you can only draft just for a particular season, and that's it. And the tournament thing isn't going to quite cut it because that is just what it is. It's just a tournament. So what kind of problems are you having, Michael? What kind of problems are you having with photos and Action PC? And if I can help you, I will help you. So let me know. I'm right here. I'm right here. It's only 12:06 in the AM, so I'm fine. I got some energy. Let me make sure. Did I shut down Baseball for Windows? I did. The thing about Baseball for Windows, though, again, is it's modular, and a lot of people don't like that. I happen to like it a lot. So, but it's Courses for Courses. PC Replay Baseball didn't. So Mark, interesting how you've been talking about sort of that modern look. So PC Replay Baseball, I think, is trying to do both because it does have a sort of older classic look, but it definitely has. There's not little things like flashing at you and stuff like that. But I think PC Replay Baseball is trying to catch both. Good game. It just doesn't click with me. You have to use one season at a time with your photos. No, you don't. So what I'm guessing you have set is having them look at subfolders, having them look in subfolders. So let me drag up Action PC Baseball, drag it to another screen, to the main screen, because I don't feel like switching the screen share around. And I suspect I know what you're doing or what's happening. So let me drag this over. Come on over, you. Come here. There you go. All right. So right now I have 1971. The digital diamond video is very useful. Yeah, and I'll tell you what. Dwayne Martz is he's the guru of digital diamond baseball in this community. All right, so here's 1971, and I click on anybody I want, and there's Bobby Mercer, and whatever. Okay, so but if I'm going to switch seasons, just to show you. All right, 1980, which I don't actually have set up. As you'll see, I don't have the logos in yet. Cecil Cooper, there we go. So, I think it's in. Let me find the rule for you. Yeah, you can use Out of the Park Baseball from Mike Silva and Action PC. Yep, you certainly can. Let me see. Is it in rules? I'll find it. Just takes me a minute. I always forget about this. Not manual entry. Is it info? Quick play. I got to make a note on this because I always forget about where you find this. This always takes me a minute. What am I? Ooh, we don't want to. Oh, yeah, we do. It's 1980. Okay, it's not that. So hang on a second. Is it preferences? Miscellaneous. Box and reports. Park image. I will find it. I will find it. Somewhere. Oh, where the hell is it? It's like in this goofy place, and it's something that you have checked that you just have to uncheck, and your player photos will work everywhere. So you're saying rules, because if you're doing it, you shouldn't be having any trouble. Okay, blah blah blah. General, and I'll never remember this. I never ever do. Steve Tate was here. He'd be like, "Yep, boop, just do this." Oh, for fuck's sake. You know what? I've probably passed it 3 times. All right. Thank you, Mark. Sleep well, buddy. Sleep well. Blimey. It's in here somewhere, and I can't find it right now. I'm sorry. Because I always forget where this goes or where this is. So I know it's not the player. No, it's not here either. It's just one thing you have to uncheck because it's looking for players in a specific folder is what's going on. So just uncheck it, and then you can just use your photos anywhere you want. So like if I look at this baseball greats, National League, so this is a DK Sports product, and I'm clicking on the 2005 St. Louis Cardinals. There they are. So as long as you have that unchecked, you can use your photos anywhere you want. I did have it. Okay, but so if you saw it, then you know. And I love the Beatles, but the band eternally would be a close second. So, Mark, you're a fan of the band. What a great band the band was, indeed. Night They Drove Old Dixie Down, The Weight, Up on Cripple Creek. Mark's already off to sleep, I think, but dude, I love the band. Love the band. Got their start with Bob Dylan. And Robbie Robertson, I know a lot of people talked about his ego, but a hell of a musician. And he could play. He could play, baby. So I don't know where the hell. So if you saw it, just back up, Michael, and find that part and uncheck what you have checked. Because I ran into that with this game as well. I don't really care if they're working, if they're wearing the proper livery or not. I don't care. I don't care. So see, even this one, this is a little yeah. Now I don't have a picture for Jay Clark, so but I just because my picture file's not updated, that's all. Anyhow, I do want to switch back to this is a fun. This is one of the freebies for you people that just got Action PC. This is a freebie that you can get, and it's really fun. Really, really, really fun here. So go down and download it and install it. Can you use JPEGs from other sites? Yeah, absolutely you can. But you have to make sure that you have the naming convention set up right. The only pictures I think that won't work in here are Diamond Mine, because Diamond Mine uses Diamond Mine and Baseball Mogul use a different. They use like I think it's a baseball reference ID for the picture, and I don't think you can do that in here. Um, Back to preferences again. I thought it was it's either rules or preferences, and I can't remember which it is. I hate the fact that I can't remember where it is. Of course, it might be under season too. Ah, there it is. Damn it. You're right. I did have it. So if you have locate folders in a subfolder of DK Sports player photos, so if that's checked and you have, so you're running a league, let's say you're doing 1983 and you have this and you had just like photos just for 1983. But if you install, let's say 1922, then you're not going to get any players. You have to actually would go into the rules and uncheck and uncheck this, and that should solve your photo issue. Now, the player photos that I use, Michael, are the same player photos that I use for Out of the Park Baseball. I don't like face gen, so if I can, I would rather use real players because I do want people to I'd like to know what the players actually look like. So there we go. I'll forget again, though, where this is supposed to go. So, but just give that a go. You probably have this checked. And if I check this right now, these player photos will go away. In fact, I'll show you. There, see? So now there are no player photos for these guys. Say there's Babe Ruth, Matt. Nope, 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 nope. So let's go back and turn them back on. Okay, so again, let's just uncheck, click save, and voila, they're back. All right. So for those of you who have just gotten into Action PC Baseball, welcome. It's a great, great, super deep baseball game. Gotten Diamond Mind, another great one. It's hard to say if there's any bad games out there, I guess. Um, I'm just waiting for Richard Dombrov. Please, 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 please fix the opening screen and the UI of your Dombrov and allow for font scaling and stuff like that. And don't make it look like some bad acid trip from 1966. Not that I would know about that because I wasn't around 1966. Yeah. So each season, no, it does it doesn't. So you could do that. So let me show you a little trick here. And I got to open my Windows Explorer. I want to show you something cool the Pocket Pennant Run does if you wanted to do this. But no, they don't. In fact, so I have every season in this game, and every season is just pointing to the general photos directory, Michael. So it does not have to have its own season. But I want to show you something the Pocket Pennant Run does that you might find that you can use the pictures in Pocket Pennant Run Baseball as well in Action PC. So let me go to Pocket Pennant Run and Pocket Pennant Run and artwork and players. And these are all split up into decades. So if you were playing, there's Michael Fisher. How you doing, Michael? So let's say you were doing 1970. Well, there's everybody in 1970. So what you can do in Action PC Baseball, when you install a season, if you have the rules set up, it will automatically create a folder for, let's say, 1970, and then you just dump all these players in here. The only thing is is the naming convention. So you would have to change the naming convention to use these photos. They're in Pocket Pennant Run Baseball, and they'll work in Action PC Baseball. No problem at all. And again, if I wanted to do this in my Action PC and just have and not have it drawn everything, I could do this trick if I wanted to. There's everybody from 1971, and pretty much in their proper livery. There's Maz, but what it looks like in Action PC, I just take the lazy way out, and I do it like this. Come on, open up there, Nelly. There you go. And player photos. Just I have everything pretty much. There you go. I do have subdirectories, but I have this all turned off. But if I went back to that 1901 to 1942 that I showed you guys, if I turned that on, then these players, if I had players in here, I move them out of here, that they would show up. But this is all I do. Michael says, "Oh shit! Okay, this is the third stream. Well, damn it! Hang on a second, man. I know what that means. I know what you're saying. I feel you. Hang on. That means you get your wrench." All right, I got to stop talking here for 6 minutes because I have to mute YouTube to do this. So hold on a second. Okay. Wrench time, he says. Absolutely. And add as a moderator. Boom. There. Now when you type, everything's going to be in blue. Michael, you've been here for 3 times, so you get a wrench as well. Boom. It's my way of saying thank you to you guys. I know it ain't much, but there you go. All right. Boom. All right. So I think that's it. I think that's it. That was a boring as hell game. It really, really was. But yeah, check out APC Community if you're new to Action PC Baseball. Pick up a lot of good stuff. Pick up a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. And like this. I've shown this many, many, many times. Michael, would you mind typing something? Okay, so why didn't it give you? It should give you the wrench. It hasn't given you the wrench yet, but maybe you have to come out, come back in. But you should have a wrench by your name. No, nobody's wrench is showed. Do you have a wrench? You're welcome, Michael Peterson. I know we got Michael Peterson, Michael Fisher. We got Mike Silva when he comes in. But let me know if you guys have wrenches because EVMUX doesn't let me see if you have wrenches because I don't monitor this through YouTube. I just go onto YouTube to give the wrenches. So this thing I'm showing here is the National League version of Steve Tate's 5-year franchise files. Also have the American League. Okay, good. So Michael Fisher has it, and I'm assuming Michael Peterson will have it too. Good. So Steve didn't use DK Sports data in this. He imagine this, man. He did so. These are 5-year stretches of franchises in baseball, and Steve carded everything here, did all the averaging out and all that kind of stuff. And this is a Herculean effort. So between the two, there's like 180 some teams, and they're all free. And as easy as this game is to work with, Steve said he never meant for these sets to be played as a season. I mean, that would be kind of nuts, right? But he said he's made it for a draft league, or it's so easy to set up a league and I could just drag some of these teams in. And in fact, I have a little league here that I forgot to get rid of, and that's probably a good thing because I can show you here. It's just called Some Teams, and there they are. All these are pulled. It's just so easy to make to create leagues in this game. So if you get that, man, you have tons of baseball to play, tons and tons and tons of baseball to play. Where do you find the Steve Tate thing? I'll show you, man. I will show you. I'm going to minimize Action PC Baseball. And I did do a broadcast on this a few weeks ago, but I don't mind showing it again. It means a few extra minutes hanging out with you guys. So it's apcsportscommunity.com, which I'm going to put in the chat for you guys. Because if and you don't have to type, then that's a good thing, right? Then just go to baseball. And if you go to all this stuff, man, go to seasons. So, it's Zep 317. Remember, I was trying to remember his name. So look at this. He's got 3-year franchise files that goes from 1901 to 1919. Click the thing, download it. There's 1920 to 1942. All right, but you're talking about Steve Tate stuff. It is way down here. Look at this. Look at all this stuff, man. This is free. There you go. There's the 5-year franchises for the American League and for the National League. These aren't the most up-to-date ones, but I also know that Steve has them in the Action PC, the actual Action PC forums. You can find these, and I think those are updated, maybe more of there. If not, hopefully Steve doesn't mind. I could zip these up and put them in the Discord. But you can get logos in here, ballparks. This is just a veritable gold mine of so there's 77 items here just for baseball and seasons. If we go to images, you can get player photos for just specific seasons if you just want to do that, and lots of other stuff. Action PC community is incredible. If you need logos, man, there's all kinds of logos here. Look, you got hat and uniform combinations 1900 to 2020. You got team logos from 1890 to 2023. There's the painted ballparks. These are from Gary Grigsby. If you're a gamer, you know Gary Grigsby. Cap logos, Zeke's logo collection. That's one of the ones that I use. It's in fact, I gave these to Craig Harris. These are the same logos that you see in Pocket Pennant Run baseball. So there you go. And I think it's probably a good time for you folks to be hanging out on APC Sports and filling up your DK Sports data directory. And you're very welcome again, Michael. Yeah, so we got, yeah. So Richard, how you doing, Richard Otani? Hey, Paisan. Como está, huh? It's been too long. He says, this says my favorite thing to play. Outstanding effort by Steve Tate. Yeah, it is. It's insane. Um, Steve Tate, I completely am convinced he knows this game, action PC baseball, probably even better than the developers themselves. I mean, it's just that good. Just that good. So, Richard, what do you have any projects going on or anything like that? We're about ready to close down here, but I always like to know what people are doing, what you're rolling up, what you're playing, what have you. Just having a lot of fun, just doing the baseball thing. So another night of I didn't practice sleight of hand magic, but my hands were like too cold. It's just too cold, man. Thank you, cousin Ken. That's the only comment I never repeat. So, but I always say thank you for that. So for anybody that does that, thank you. Really appreciate it, cousin. We got to get back on our thing soon, brother. So, but I know you've been busy and I've been busy, and we'll get it done. So, quick reminder to everybody: I very rarely do any sort of promotion, but I do like to talk about things that are coming up. I forget what night the Stupid Bowl is on. As I used to call it the Stupid Bowl, but Ken has me calling it the Stupid Bowl now. Every year in my life that I've been a baseball fan, I've always done something baseball related. And it used to be reading books, watching baseball films, playing a baseball game, back in the day, if it was Earl Weaver baseball or just whatever it was. And in 2019, when I got here to America, Ken's like, why don't you do something on your channel? I'm like, okay, it's just going to be you and me here. And so what it was a 1914 game between, it was Federal League game between Chicago and Pittsburgh. And I thought, what the hell? And the second game was a replay of the infamous 1978 Bucky F. Dent game. And every year except one, I think, we've done something on in here, and it's all day and all evening. So you'll be there for I hope so, cuz be looking for you, man. Be looking for you. Richard says that he's doing 1962 replay in Action PC, 1966 in Diamond Mine. Got the big player set from Action PC recommendation, $9. Thank you. Thank you. Grazie, Paisan. I'm glad you got it. I was thinking everybody was going to fall asleep on that. $9 for the baseball history collection. You'll probably never see it at that price again. So, boy, that's a lot of fun for draft leagues, all the subsets and everything. Whew. I don't know what Dave Cook was smoking that night or drinking that night or what he was thinking or whatever, but damn. Just finished a hockey game, took 2 hours. Whoa. I find that interesting that like the faster paced games like hockey and basketball tend to take longer in cards and dice. I don't know why that is, but they seem to take longer than a baseball game. Because I've seen who's that guy, Baseball Replay Journal, who I want to interview him. He could do a Diamond Mine baseball game in 14 minutes. 14 minutes. But I bet he can't. I don't think he could do a hockey game or anything like that. I guess APA's not going to be doing. John Herson was saying that I guess there's a couple sports they're not going to do now. So, but he did say that they made all the horse racing cards available for free because he said he saw the prices for Apple horse racing, the aftermarket prices, and he said that it was obscene. This was a talk that he did at I guess it was an APA convention or Sabre. I can't remember which. I think it was APACon. I think it was. So if you guys can find them and you want to, and you have little horses and a little track, the stuff's out there to play APA horse racing. So you can get lost in that set better than the Instagram rabbit hole you get stuck in, says Richard O'Tony. That's high praise right there, man. That is high praise because, yeah, Instagram. So the one I get stuck in is YouTube. But man, I've been in the Instagram ecosystem. That's a pretty scary place. It's like, oh my god, it's what happened? What I've been doing for 2.5 hours. It's good stuff. But you should try a draft league in that, Richard. The GM, and especially this year now with the much better AI in action PC baseball, I think you'll be very pleased at how well the AI drafts in that game. But because you have players in their peak seasons or peak slice of their careers, you could do goofy things like, okay, what if there was an All Star game in 1929? Well, you could do it. So much you can do in that game, and we did our first Michael McGreevy league using the baseball history collection, and it did well. It really did well. After Steve told us we were normalized to the incorrect year, because Willie Keeler was striking out all over the place. Steve gave us one little fix, and all of a sudden, everything changed. There you are, Paul. There's been a lot of silence from you and Mr. Harris. So, how you doing, buddy? I hope you're well. And maybe we'll see that pocket pennant run update come maybe next week. I'm hoping. I was all ready to do it Sunday night, but don't want to rush you. I know that you are very fastidious. You are very fastidious about doing play testing for pocket pennant run, but really, really looking forward to the next update, even if it's just quality of life. No, it's not about fault. Just curious because I mentioned at the top of the broadcast that it's pretty quiet on the pocket pennant run front, and I'm not saying this to guilt trip you, mate. I'm not. Please believe me. I think I checked my email like 10 times on Sunday. It was finally like 11:30. I give up. I'm just going to do an action PC game. So, oh, I know that. I know. It's all good. He says, I will not sign off it if you find anything. I get it, man. I was just like, whoa, okay. So I'm just glad everybody's all right. It just got real quiet in the pocket. I was checking the Facebook group, and Craig, there's a lot more people to join. The game is growing by leaps and bounds. The community, I should say, is and should be. And I'll say it again, guys. Please don't sleep on pocket pennant run baseball. It's pocket pennant run baseball is going to be, it's already an A-tier game, man. You're going to be seeing pocket pennant run baseball. I would say even by the end of 2026, it's going to be one of the marquee games. Mark me on this one. Just told Greg it was good to go, but then your last test is press every button on the screen. Craig thinks you're nuts. Well, I think you are too. But I love you, brother. And without you, and I know with Craig, yeah, coding and everything, but man, without your mad scientist approach, pocket pennant run would still be just a companion, and pocket pennant run is so many things now. So, oh, okay, wow. So if you place cursor in team management and press spacebar, you had a crash. Yikes! Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. That is not good. Yeah, Paul, you didn't miss anything. We did a 1929 game here, doing a 1929 replay and a 1991 replay in Strat Max, and the A's clobbered the Senators 10-0. It was pretty bad, pretty bad. But hey, c'est la guerre, as they say, right? So what time is your breakfast? It's breakfast time for you there in Cyprus and feeding the animals and all that stuff. So glad you stopped in. Someday I'm going to figure out your schedule and have you on here like with a broadcast and stuff. It'd be a lot of fun. Anybody has the Baseball HQ app? The newest version is out. Get it. If you don't have it, sign up for the group on Facebook and get the Baseball HQ app. It's one of the most amazing things you'll ever see, and Paul has created it. It is gratis, but you gotta join the group though, and you will use it for your projects. I guarantee it. So he spent 2 days hunting random bugs down. Last thing is not storing advanced settings from game to game. He fixed that, good to go. Yeah, so I made a mistake the other day, Paul, when I answered that guy's question. I thought that you could, because remember I was telling the guy, oh yeah, just make sure to do a full replay because I thought it was tracking stats that way, but then you said no, you have to do manual entry. So sorry about that. Okay, so you have okay, physio this morning at 7:37. Okay, so that's okay. So you're 7 hours ahead. Gotcha. But yeah, so sorry. I just thought that that was the whole idea of playing a full sim of a game so that you could track stats. I didn't know you were saying that you couldn't do that. So that was my confusion. So hopefully that will change. Maybe though, because if you are doing a full box score sim, wouldn't you want to put all that stuff over from Pocket Pennant Run? So sorry, I answered that. So the easiest way to remember is team management is not rewritten by you. Okay, got you. All right, okay. But in a regular season replay, would I have been right that you could export that stuff? Is that right? Because I feel really badly now. Because I told the guy, I said, well, if I'm understanding you correctly, the answer is yes. But then you came on and said no. But I realized that he was doing from the team manager, right? Create the teams as opposed to doing a season replay. So my bad. Okay, you can export anything except sim. Okay. All right. What do you think that's going to change though? Will we do you think we might be eventually be able to export any including things that are full simmed? Okay. Okay, he's good. He's an experienced HQ user. Okay. That's cool. I think he's not going to be too miffed that I you know, said, "Oh, dude," but I was wrong. I was wrong. So, do you want Craig to add next box score? Yeah, export in sim. That's what I'm asking. That would be superb because Pocket Pennant Run isn't going to track stats to the same level and is not searchable. It does have searchable stats. It's good, but what you have going is better. And I mean, Craig obviously recognizes that as it's now part of Pocket Pennant Run baseball too. So there's another way to get it, guys. But you should friend up Paul anyhow. He's a scouser, even though he hates to admit it. He's a scouser, and it's always fun to get scousers. Get them all riled up. That's what he likes to do to me all the time, anyhow. So even if we can't analyze in Pocket Pennant Run, we can access the raw data. Right. That's good. So HQ raw data. Okay. To dig into it. Got you. Okay. That's all right. Digging's fun. That's what we baseball fans like to do anyhow. I mean, come on, you want to talk about digging, go into retro sheet and you're going to be digging and digging and digging, right? So, it's all good. All right, guys, I'm running out of stuff to say. I'm enjoying talking to Paul here. Certainly enjoying talking to all you guys, but I see we went from 22 to 9. And I think that's people saying, "All right, dude, you're done." So I'm done. Thank you, everybody, for coming up. So if I watched first 2 minutes of your video yesterday, it is scouting. Please watch. All right, I will. I'll do that after I sign off here, actually, rather than just scrolling around and watching random YouTube crap. I will check it out, man. Guys, please subscribe to Fast Action Sports Fast Paul. Just subscribe. It's good stuff. You're as fresh as a daisy. It's because you just got up. I worked 8 hours today. I came home and um, I did watch a video on a new game I just bought on Steam called Blightstone, which I can't wait to get into. But then I'm like, oh, I'll do a baseball game. So I am about as stale. All right, Michael, be well. Paul, be well. Cousin Ken, be well, and thank you for coming. And Michael Peterson, thank you for coming. And Richard Otone, mi paisano. It's been too long since you've been in here, my friend. So thank you for coming in. Aaron Reed was here for a while. He was. And we are better for it. David Baseball Demos, Mark Thespian Series. Look out, he's got a great doco coming up. John DFW was here with us tonight. Thank you, John. Christopher Slovic was here. Craig Scarborough, thank you very much. H Field 07 and the Professor Clinton Parks. Does it get any better than that? Parallel League was here. Shackist. When Kate Beckinsale comes in, that's when it's going to get good. So it'll never happen, so it'll never get good. February 10th, Pitchers and Catchers Report. The Sunday before that, we'll be doing the Stupid Bowl Sunday Baseball Spectacular all day and all evening. So even if you watch football, come in after. You never know. You never know what might happen. And yeah. Brother Jack Dawson, first one in the ballpark tonight. We gave out 2 new wrenches tonight, which is really nice. They are Crescent tools, by the way. So what used to be out beyond center field in Crosley Field in Cincinnati. What do they say down there in Ohio? Cincinnati is what they say. So guys, thank you. You guys are family. Mick, thank you. Mick is like the man in the truck. He's the stat master here. He is the stat master. Enzo, thank you very much, Enzo, for coming in. And that pretty much does it, family. Back at you, Paul. Back at you. All right, guys, till the next time. We'll see you around the batting cage. Good night.